life and its daily mystery and beauty gets kind of monotonous, and you talk to pigeons as your highest form of self-character. And you just look for those moments where, those special days where you're kind of the hero of the story, and you're imagining, like, what would I do in that situation? Michael, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're like a 20 as far as character goes in those kind of moments. So, sometimes you think about that. Normally, those situations don't come up. So this winter, my friend and I were walking down the street, and we're mugged. So normally, those are like the moments where it comes out. So we're walking down the street. We're coming back from the beach. She has this big old bag that's basically like a Mug Me bag. It's like huge. It's got to carry like everything in it. Mary Poppins would have like 5 countries if she had that bag in it. It's like crazy huge. So we're walking back from the beach. All she had in it was like tea or something. So we're walking up. Oh, and a digital camera. I blocked that out. We don't want to lose that. And so we're walking up the street. We're almost back to our house. We turn the corner. We're like right there. And all of a sudden, someone yanks my friend from behind, and she thinks it's our friend Mark, so she's like, oh, whatever. She turns around, and this guy just looks at us, and he just goes, he doesn't even, it's not even a grunt, he doesn't say anything, he's just, and he has, a little bit of foam, and we're thinking, rabies, do we have to cut off the head and send it to the Capitol, so, you say, so, we're so this guy grunts at her, and he goes, and he just looks at us, and he starts taking her bag, and he just is pulling on it, and it's across her shoulders. So he's either got to do the headlock thing, or we have to give it up. So I turn to my friend and I say, "Give him the bag," and she's like, "Give him," and I'm like, "Yeah." And so she takes it off, hands it to the guy who's shorter than me and 70 pounds. And he takes the bag, starts running away halfway down the street. So it's downhill, so he can run even faster. Halfway down the street, he turns around and looks back at us really? Was it that easy? Really? So we look at him. He's all the way down there, and we're still thinking, okay, well, clearly there was no knife. Clearly his fingernails weren't Wolverine, I'm going to get you in the eyes, gouge you. He's all the way down there. Wait, but maybe he still has a gun. Maybe he still wants to kill us. So we turn and run the opposite direction. And then we get home, and then I looked at Jen, and I was like, oh my God. We can't tell anybody about this day. We're the ultimate lowest form of mugging ever. And I was we have no dignity. We're beyond painfully pathetic. It's the worst mugging in the history of time. So we're at home, we're oh man, all of our pictures of our trip are gone because it's South Africa, we weren't in Philly. And and there was a gas station right at the bottom of the road, so we could have just chased into the gas station and been ah, guy with our stuff, ah! And somebody could have run out and just stopped him. But we didn't do that. So the next day we're having a tea party for my grandma and all of my grandma's friends, so they're all 70 plus. And they're oh, so how's your trip going? And I was oh, well, yesterday we were mugged. And they were oh. And I was yeah. They were so how'd you fight him off? What method did you use? I was well, we come from the country of Bush, didn't want to do the preemptive violence thing. We opted for pacifism. Thought it would be a good representation of the American people. Yeah, we just, he probably needed it more than we did, that tea. So this one lady, she's oh yeah, I carry a brick in my purse. Always, I clock the guy. I was she's 75. And this other lady, she's I knew a girl who was at work and she was mugged. She was sleeping. She chased the guy down and then realized it was 2 guys. She kung fu'd them. She jumped on top of them. She got her stuff and their stuff. And I was are you kidding me? And then she looks at me and she goes, can I have a lemon off your tree? My husband will like it for his gin. I was it's just over. It's done. So we came back to Philly and I was Jen, we're back home. We got to get mugged again. We got to prove ourselves.